Okay, hey guys, welcome to Seriously. I'm Mary.
I'm Brittany.
All right, guys, this weekend was super crazy. We had a very eventful weekend filled of web series. First up, we sat with Millie Torchetti, who had a screening of her web series, Single Rules, at the Kacha Film Festival. So stick around for our interview with her. She's super cool. We had so much fun talking with her. She gave us some advice on dating, so thanks, girls, for that.
I'm definitely going to use them all, girl. And then we also went to the Uhuru Now meetup. Uhuru Now is a web series coming out next year. It's about 6 college students balancing everyday life while seeking answers to the social issues that we face. And we got to meet all the cast members and the creators, Jared Solomon and Ashley Danielle, who are absolutely amazing. So please keep a lookout for them. You can follow them on Twitter or Instagram at Uhuru Now Series. That's UHURUNOW Series.
And to top the weekend off, we attended a private screening of the web series Pieces, which is about women who have taken over the world of credit card fraud. Season 3 drops the 17th, which is today, so make sure you guys check them out. You can watch all their episodes on YouTube at Pieces Series channel.
Also, throughout the weekend, we attended the New York City Web Fest, which was a 3-day event full of screenings, as well as an award ceremony. And an after party, which was so much fun, because, after the party is the after party. So we got to see a lot of new shows, and we're so happy to share them with you guys. So let's get started. It's like a drunk.
Oh, a drunk.
The first category is called Do You Know Who I Am? And the series that we're going to talk about is called Bar-Crossed Lovers. This was created by Jake Pack. Bar-Crossed Lovers is a new romantic comedy that follows 2 groups of friends as they navigate the ins and outs of contemporary dating. The episode we saw was called The Hipster. So the 2 girls are having a drink at the bar, they're talking, and then one of the girls named Jessica, she sees this guy, Earl, who across the room, who blew her off a while ago. Mm-hmm. And so she tells her friend what happened and tells her, read the message he sent me, he just had this story. So the text message said, you know what, hey, sorry I can't go to the concert with you. My whole family was killed in a car crash. My mom, dad, and my twin sisters. I can't date anyone right now. So the friend is like, this is bull. He's lying. Come on, look at him.
I mean, who says something like
that?
Yes,
it's so out of this world. So she's like, look at him over there. He's happy. He's smiling that he lied to you. Go over there and confront him. You deserve better. Go and confront him. So she's amping her up. Jessica's like, you know what? Yes, I'm gonna go. Let's go. So she goes to confront him. She leaves. And then the bartender comes to the bar and she's like, oh my God, Earl is here. And the friend's like, you know him too? And she's like, oh my God, he's the nicest guy ever. He used to come here all the time until his whole family was killed. And then
she's like, New York One did a piece on him too.
And everything. Oh, it's so sad. So the friend is like, what did I just do? So now she sent her friend Jessica over there to go off on him, and he wasn't even lying. It's just so funny because she don't see the good in people. So everyone's just lying. It's just such an outlandish story that you probably wouldn't even believe it if someone told you.
I mean, who comes up with stuff like that?
Yeah, but this is his real life.
I mean, he was nice enough to tell her the truth instead of saying oh, I have a family emergency.
Right.
I can't, go to dinner with you or whatever. He told her the full out story.
Yes. So it was a really funny show. I like the dynamic of the 2 characters. So I'm excited to watch the other shows. You can find all the episodes on Vimeo.com. So definitely check them out, guys.
So in the category Lost and Founding Myself, 2 shows stood out to us because they were super funny. The first one was Q's One Night Stand, which was created by Terrence L. Moore. It's about a guy who's done with traditional dating, so he commits to only having one-night stands. He has these rules, and he's trying to keep his life simple, no drunk girls, no hoes, and no lies. And although it may sound like a great fantasy, he deals with a lot during his one-night stand scenarios. Mm-hmm. So the episode that we got to see was episode 4, which is called The Babysitter. Right. Q wakes up to find the woman gone, and there's this kid running around.
Yes.
And, at first he's like, I'm about to leave.
Right, take care of yourself. Don't kill yourself. Bye.
But then he does the right thing, and he decides to stay. But throughout the day, he's, calling the woman.
Cursing her out.
leaving these messages on her voicemail like, this is why I wear a condom, because bitches like you don't deserve to have kids, and I'm about to call Child Protective Services.
Right, he said, do you want your child to end up in foster care? Do you?
But then a woman comes, and it's the kid's mom. And she's like, who are you?
Right.
He's like, lady, I was about to ask you the same question. And she's like, well, you've been calling my phone all day. And she replays the messages to him. And he's like, yeah, I wasn't calling you a bitch. But then the babysitter comes in, and he's like, that's the bitch I was talking to. That's the bitch right there.
And then she was looking like he was the crazy one.
Yeah,
you
was
left
like,
this
really?
kid
like,
with this random
you
guy.
had to tell on me.
Yes. What's wrong with you? What is your life about, girl?
How you just leave the child there?
Yes. That episode was really funny.
Yeah,
I liked it.
It was a funny episode. You can check all the episodes out at qsonenightstand.com.
Mm-hmm. So the next show in this category is called All My Friends Are Married, which is created by Mercedes Brazier Thurman. It's about a 30-something woman named Lauren who is attempting to avoid spinsterhood in New York City. So we got to see episode 3. And in this episode, it was like she wanted to show us ways to finding your dream man. So she had 5 ways. So her first one was like, first impressions are very important. She said, make sure you always look good. So she's out in the park with her friends, and she's in the cut, like, putting on her makeup.
Yeah, she's supposed to be running, right?
Yeah.
They went to go exercise.
They were stretching, and she's on the side, like, you always gotta look good. So she's putting her makeup on. The second one was smile. Men love a woman that smiles. So then you see her awkwardly staring at this guy, and like she's in mad hard, and he's looking at her like, okay. And then the third one was first move. So she walks up to the guy, and she's like, hey. So I'm like, okay, so these are all her things. Mm-hmm. The fourth one was laugh. The fifth one was
even
be
though
bold.
It's not funny. There was nothing funny.
He didn't do anything.
Funny.
She's like, and the fifth one was be bold. So she starts reciting a poem to him.
Yeah.
It was like, you're as beautiful as night, and I want to be one of your stars. And then she just started like being awkward, and he left her. And then she ends up meeting the guy that she didn't actually go for at first.
Right. She didn't even notice him.
Right. But then, he was just like, just be yourself. Like, you're cute. So she ended up getting the guy's number, and her just being herself ended up getting her the guy, and then doing these 5 crazy steps.
Yeah, you can tell that she's one of those girls that like relies on books and articles that's like how to get the guy or whatever. But at the end of the day, she just needs to be herself.
Exactly.
And she would have found somebody.
And in the end, she's like, if this doesn't work, try these 100 steps.
100 steps, yeah. I was
to
like,
get the guy of your dreams.
How you go from 5 to 100?
Yeah. But it's really cute. It was a funny, like, quirky show.
Yeah.
I was excited for it.
You can catch all episodes at allmyfriendsaremarried.tv.
Ooh.
All right, guys. So the next category was When Love Goes Wrong, Nothing Goes Right. Mm-hmm. And one show stood out to us, which was Sensitive, a web series by Corey Stonebrook, who also stars in the show. His character, Corey, is an inspiring actor and waiter. He recently moved to New York City, and he's on the quest for love. The thing is, like, he's very sensitive.
Right.
He's in touch with his feminine side. Like, he loves to tap dance.
Jazz
he loves
music.
golden age movies, jazz music. And he likes to offer to French braid his roommate's hair. So a lot of people assume that he's gay. Yeah. But he's not. He's just, trying to figure out the difference between what's romantic and what's considered old school.
Right.
So we got to see the pilot episode. Corey, he's having like kind of a bad day in the beginning, and he's thinking that, New York City just is not for him because it's too rough out here for him. He was trying to find a girl on Tinder and was not lucky. He was not feeling any of the girls at all. He tried to give a homeless man a fruit snack, and the man ended up spitting in his face. It was like, asshole, I want money, not food.
Right.
Then he went on the subway and he tried to offer his seat to some woman, but she went off on him and was like, if I wanted a seat, I would take the seat.
Right. So this guy can't get a break.
No, he can't get a break. But his crazy roommate, who loves to sing and have conversations with him while she's pooping, and he just like doesn't think she's ladylike at all. She offers to set him up on a date with one of her friends who happens to like tap dance.
Right.
Before he was like, no.
He's like, no, I don't want to be set up.
Do it. No.
And
then she's like, She likes to tap dance.
It's like, sign me up.
Yes.
Where is she right now?
Can I go meet her like right now? So he's super excited. You know, some people just start doing like a dance around him.
It was like a
like
musical.
a flash mob or something.
A musical.
But it was cute. So you can check out all the episodes at sensitiveawebseries.com.
So the next category we're going to get into is called Games People Play. This show we really liked was called The Auditions. It follows Graham Howard's audition process. So we'll see each episode follows his auditions and encounters and obstacles that he faces in each one. So the episode we saw was episode 1, Jurassic World 2. So this episode, Graham is auditioning for Jurassic World, and he's like really excited for it. He's like a dream come true. He's like, I never thought this would happen. It's a big break. So the casting director is like, okay, that's nice. So let's get started.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'll read this part and you read that part, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So she starts reading the narrative, and then at the same time, he starts reading the first line of the main character as her. So she's like, what are you doing? He's like, that's Rick's line, right? And she's like, yeah, that already was casted. Liam Hemsworth got that. She was like, you'll be playing the dinosaur. So he's like, wait, what do you mean?
And she's like, your agent didn't tell you? You
right.
were casting for the dinosaur.
He's like, no, they kind of left that part out. She's like, no, we'll hook you up to CGI, and, we'll just need you to really get the dinosaur movements.
Yeah.
We really
get
want that. Get that down. So she's like, okay. So I guess he put the script down like, I guess I don't really need this. So he's like playing.
At first he didn't really want to do it.
No.
But then she was like, this makes like billions of dollars.
That was later.
Never mind.
So then he starts playing the dinosaur, gets into motion, and the scene calls for him to crap on himself. Which was, as she said it, he looked at her like in disbelief. Like, what do you mean?
Serious?
So then he starts making the motions, and he's like, what is my life about at this point? So she's like, she's like, okay, great, scene. So he's like, okay. She's like, listen, if you get this part, you're going to get a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big part.
It's Jurassic World.
Jurassic World, come on. So he's like, you know what, money? All right, that's all you had to say. Let's do the scene again. Like, now he's full and he's in it. So that show was hilarious. Like, the fact that he had to go through that was like so funny.
It was his facial expressions that killed me.
It was like, so this is
my life.
My life has come to.
This is my life.
This is it.
I went to school for this. I studied so hard, and my role is going to be a dinosaur.
And the fact that he came in there ready, I'm going to be the lead role in Jurassic.
You thought.
No, honey.
She was like, why did you think that? Like, come on. You're a nobody.
Hello. Oh, my God. But hilarious. You can find all the episodes at facebook.com/theauditions. Really, guys, check it out. You won't be disappointed. And the web series is written and directed and stars Jasper Wincott. So definitely check it out. Perfect.
Okay, so the next category was What is Happening? We got to see a show called I'm Gay, which is created by Josh Apter. The show is about a married man named Seth, who's a straight guy, but he's trying to get out of his awful marriage by pretending he's gay.
Yeah, this was his, big plan.
Yes. So the episodes are short, so we got to see episodes 2 and 3. Seth meets with his father-in-law, and his father-in-law is like, so I'm told that you like to play with boys instead of being married to my daughter. Now, when you married her, I was disgusted. But you know what we do to people that disrespect us? Mm-hmm. We cut them up. We throw them to the fishes. We eat dinner. We go to bed, and we sleep like babies.
Yes. He's like,
He's like, Wow.
Wow.
So he's already afraid of this man.
Oh, yeah.
Because he seems
he's like an Italian mafia.
Mob. Mm-hmm. He's like, but we can't punish you for being your true self.
Right.
So prove to me that you are a gay.
A gay.
That's how my dad says it, though. He's always like, he's a gay. He's a gay. He's like, I want to meet this guy you're dating, so we're coming over for dinner tomorrow.
Right.
So Seth has to find a fake gay boyfriend.
Yeah.
So he goes around the office trying to find someone who's gay.
He's like, you're gay, right?
And the guy's like, no, you met my wife. Why are you bothering me? He's like asking every single male,
Yes.
you're gay, right?
You gay.
He finally finds a gay person.
Right.
Neil. But Neil's like, no, thank you.
Neil don't want anything to do with your mess.
I'm not trying to help you.
No.
Thanks. But Seth is begging, and he's like, I'll do anything. So Neil's like, all right, so pay me $800.
Yeah, basically.
Before it was $500, but then Seth said something like really rude to him.
Yeah.
So he was like, now it's $800.
Right.
You want me to play your boo for the day?
Yes,
it's going to be $800.
Exactly.
So they go to his apartment to quote unquote gay it up for his father. But the apartment is a mess. For whatever reason, Seth bought these penis lamps and was like, okay, so where do I put these? And Neil was like, who told you to buy this?
Right. We don't use
we don't use this. Just because I'm gay doesn't mean I want a penis
right.
lamp.
Like, you're thinking
I
too
have
hard.
class. So they start cleaning up the apartment. Well, Neil starts cleaning it up because Seth is like, he finds like dirty things, but he's like using it at the same time. It was like nasty. By the time Neil is done, the place looks like amazing. Mm-hmm. And Seth is in awe. He's like, it must be the gay magic.
Right, exactly.
And then he's like, at the end, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, your name is Bruce.
He's like, come on.
So it was a really funny episode. Even though they were short, they were like super funny. Mm-hmm. You can find all the episodes on the Cringe Factory's YouTube page.
Yeah.
So the next category we got to see was Shady Ladies. One of the shows we got to see was L.I. Divas, created by Katie McGuire and Catherine Callahan. It's a Real Housewives mockumentary series about the lives of fabulous women living and thriving on Long Island, New York. We saw episode 1 of season 2. In this episode, one of the ladies named Gina, she wants to drop her first album, so she goes to meet this music producer.
Mm-hmm. And she thinks she hit it big.
She thinks she's like the ish,
yes.
okay? The music producer's name was Danye Servasale. So it's like Kanye, but with a D. So it's Danye.
I didn't even peep.
Yeah, she goes to go meet with him. So Gina, let me tell you about Gina. She's super bougie.
So bougie.
She just thinks she's that chick, okay? And another woman, her name is spelled like L-A-A, but her name is LaDasha.
I'm dead.
Because it's L-A-A.
Oh my God.
So she was like, it's not Ella, it's LaDasha. And she's like the ghetto chick in the group. Like, she's from the Bronx. I think all the other women are from Long Island or whatever. So I feel like Gina like looks down on her or whatever. Mm-hmm. So like LaDasha, she clearly does not like this woman. And she's like, so this chick she don't even like Jersey, okay?
Right.
But she went all the way across the George Washington Bridge to see this producer.
Right.
Gina, she had like a look, okay?
Okay.
Fur,
can you talk about it?
Floor length coat,
Floor length fur,
large sunglasses, pearls, black dress,
and don't forget the
black
hat.
pumps,
Don't forget the hat.
the floppy hat. Like, she had a look, okay? She came dressed to impress.
Yes.
But she ended up in the hood. I don't think she realized that she was at a hood. She was in the hood. Like, this guy was a hood producer.
She was like, it's a little different than what I expected.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like stainless steel, but it's actually wood. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. In the car, she's like doing all these runs. She's like, do, re, mi.
Yes.
And she's like, save it for the car. Save it
for later. Save it for later. Let me rest my voice.
She's just super extra, right? Mm-hmm. She thinks she's the next superstar or whatever. And even Danya was like, yeah, she can't sing.
Right, but, you know,
she a hustler, so we're going to make it work.
Respect her.
We're going to make it work. He's name dropping, and he has this poster of Justin Timberlake and Christina Aguilera. And she's like, oh my God, do you know them? And he's like, yeah, I work with both of them, and I had sex with one of them. And she's like, oh my God, Christina, right? Because people tell me I sound like her. He was like, nah, I had sex with one of them, and Christina's the other one. I'm like, whoa.
What is your life about?
He gave her some liquor, and Mama is getting loose.
She was ready.
She's dropping it like it's hot, flipping her hair. She's getting super white girl wasted. And he's like massaging her shoulders. Yeah. He has a random lingerie, and he's like biting on it. Right. Like he knows he's about to sleep with this woman. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you hear some other woman singing in the background. And she's like, hold up, who's that?
No.
So you can tell she doesn't. Yeah, she has competition and she don't like it.
Yeah, no, she wants to be the only one. She thought it was a private session.
Yes, but she thought little did she know someone was already there.
Yeah, so I'm about to watch the next episode, try to see what she about to do about this extra person.
Well, you can catch all episodes at lidivas.com.
Okay, so the last category we're going to talk about is called Last But Not Least. The first show that we really enjoyed was called #Currently. We saw 2 episodes. The first one was called Travel Bragging, and the second was called No Reservation. And Travel Bragging is 2 girls fresh out of college, and they're like catching up and
talking about their experiences abroad.
Yes. And then the whole time they're like, going back and forth, like, oh, I went to Spain. Oh,
I mean,
really?
It started off as like a simple conversation, but like, it quickly escalated
to like a battle. Out of control.
They were
like, you went there.
Who accomplished more?
Yes. Who went to most places?
One was like, Malaysia, I found the plane.
Yeah.
What happened?
What's up?
So one was like, I even went to heaven. She's like, yeah, everyone wears white linen pants. And the friend was like, really? You went to heaven?
Really?
You sure it wasn't the Hamptons? She was like, I did both.
Right, don't matter. I went to both, so what's up?
She said, well, I found another planet. They're about to name it after me.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, it went that far. Like, they were really about to, like, hit each other or something.
Yeah, they were about to fight.
They went in for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, I thought you guys were friends.
No, not when it comes to this. They need to be on top. It reminded me of like me and you, because we're always like...
You always trying to one-up me.
And you do the same.
Whenever we like rate someone, I'll be like, oh, that person was like a 6. You're like, it was a 6.5. So I'm like, okay, it was a 7. It was a 7.5. It's like you're always trying to one-up me. And I'm like, can I just live?
It's my true opinion.
It's not, though.
All right, whatever. And then the next episode was called No Reservation. So when the girl comes into the restaurant, she's like, oh, can I get a table? And the hostess is like, unfortunately, we cannot accommodate your physical appearance at this time, but you can call and make a reservation next time. So she's just like, wait, what? Like, she looks around and the place is empty.
Completely empty.
She's like, are y'all even open? Like, she's like,
oh yeah, we're open.
Yeah, but you need to have a membership, and all these seats are being reserved or being saved to be reserved. So she's like, what? Listen, I just paid valet.
I just want food.
I just want food. I paid the $10 valet. Can I at least get food to go? So she's like, you know what? How about you go to McDonald's, where you're more accepted, and cry in a bag of like 20-piece McNuggets listening to Taylor Swift. So she's like, you know what? I'm going to leave you guys a Yelp review. Like, let me see the manager. So
she's like, you thought that was an insult?
Right.
But that's actually a really good idea.
Exactly.
Like,
right.
You thought you had me there,
Thank
but you didn't.
But I still want to see your manager. So the manager comes out, and even he doesn't understand, like, why is this girl in here?
He's like, what's your problem? And she's like, your hostess is very rude. He was like, okay, but what's your point?
Right. Then he goes, I'm sorry, sir.
That reminded me of me and you.
Again. Because we're always like, this guy. Sir. So he's like, what's your IMDb rating? Like, are you a celebrity? Like, why are you here?
Because we can't just have any old body in here. We don't do that. She's like, do you not want to make money?
Right.
He's like, this is not a business. It's more like a lifestyle.
A lifestyle. I'm like, this.
It's one of those pretentious restaurants that like wants so a certain kind of clientele.
Clientele. I'm like, the food must be really good in here, because I would have left a long time ago.
I don't know why she was arguing with her.
I would have left a long time ago and still left a Yelp review.
And we always say that about companies. You don't want money. Like,
you don't want this money? I'm trying to give you my money. Take it. And then they go back and forth, and in the end, she's in her car crying in a bag of McDonald's.
Listening to Taylor Swift.
So she took her advice. The show was really, really funny. I really enjoyed it. This show was created by Ashley Ketchian, and You can find the episodes on YouTube.
So the last show we saw was Fuck These Guys, which was created by Brad Einstein.
The show follows a couple of characters, and the show is all about guys that you would hate, like jerks, just get on your nerves. Mm-hmm. So the first episode, we saw 2 episodes from this show. The first episode we saw was called Ghost Bike. So it starts off with like a group of friends celebrating a birthday party. They're opening presents, having a good time. Then one of their friends, first of all, comes in late. Mm-hmm. He's singing happy birthday, rolling in a bike.
A white bike.
A white bike with flowers on it. So, and everyone's staring at him confused. And he's like, it's a bike. And then one friend is like, that's a ghost bike. Yeah. And he's like, no, it's a real bike. Like, you don't know what you're talking about.
They're like, that's a memorial bike.
Yes. He's like, that's a dead person's bike.
And he was like, no.
He's like, what are you talking about? Like, this is my bike that I brought for Aaron. Like, happy birthday.
They're like, where did you get that bike from?
He's like, don't worry about it. So then it pans back to like earlier that day. He's getting a text message like, oh, don't forget Aaron's birthday tonight.
You gotta bring a gift.
You gotta bring a gift. And he looks up and see this bike chained to a wall with pictures and flowers.
It was a memorial. It had the friends like picture and everything.
Yes. So he's like, oh yeah, I got a present. Don't worry about it. So now, and then the friends are taking a closer look at the bike, and it says R.I.P. Peter, which turns out to be one of their friends.
It was like his friend.
So they're like, that's Peter's bike, who was killed by a drunk driver coming from your party. Like, how can you do this?
He's like, no, guys.
Come on. Everybody gets killed at parties. Like, what? He's like trying to save it and nobody wants to hear him. And I'm just like, this guy is such a jerk. Like, he does not get it. Like, how are you going to steal the bike?
He's cheap. That's what happened. So then he finally says, okay, guys, this is Peter's bike. Yeah. But Peter loved biking, okay?
Yeah, like, come on.
His friend was like, no, Peter loved being alive, okay?
Then they're just like, get out. Just leave.
Get the hell out of my house.
Yeah, so he takes the bike, and she's like, leave the balloon. Just go. I'm just like, this jerk.
He's cheap.
Cheap?
That is so cheap. And disgusting.
Where are your morals?
He didn't have any. Until they finally, like, he wasn't going to admit it.
No.
They were all like, we know whose bike that is.
Right, that's our friend. Like, come on.
We've seen him die. We saw it happen.
Bike, yes.
So the next episode we saw was called Bomb Tech. A CIA agent, she goes into this place. She's trying to disarm this bomb. And the guy on the phone, I guess it's one of her, like, tech guys.
Yeah.
He's trying to tell her what she needs to do. And then all of a sudden he starts apologizing. He's like, I don't mean to be that condescending male.
Right.
Trust me, I've learned from our HR training that we should treat females the same way. And she's like, we don't really have time for that.
Yeah, we're good. I didn't take it any type of way.
This bomb is going to go off in like 1 minute. Like, I don't have time to be like dealing with your feelings over here.
Like, I have 1 minute left. Like, it's okay.
He's like, we always have time to make our work environment safe for everyone, okay? Male or female, doesn't matter what gender. But mind you, she's like trying to like disarm this bomb. Yeah. And he's still like going on and on and on.
Like, I don't want to.
How he appreciates females in the workplace. And she's like, I don't care. This is not a think piece. We don't have time for this, okay? I'm going to die. This is how I die. This is literally how I die.
This is it.
She said, just tell me which cord to cut. He's like, whichever you choose, I'll support you.
I'll support you. Make your decision. I'm here for you. Like, what? Do your job.
I feel bad because she ended up dying.
I know. Because she pulled it. She's like, oh my God, I did it.
And he was like, did that work?
Silence, and then boom.
So he's one of those guys that thinks he knows how women feel, right? How they want to be treated in a workplace when he really don't know what the hell he's talking about.
No, he don't. You can find all the episodes at ftgseries.com. Definitely check it out. It's really funny, guys. Okay, so that's a wrap for our New York City Web Fest coverage. Please, guys, check out all the shows you heard about today. If you want us to do a season recap of any of them, please let us know. We love recommendations. And now stick around for our interview with Millie Torchetti. We are talking about guys, dating, and her hilarious web series.
So, hey everyone. So, if you listened to our coverage on the Brooklyn Web Fest last month, we watched and recapped Single Rules and automatically fell in love with it. So, today we are really excited because we have with us Millie Torchetti, the creator and star of the web series Single Rules. Hello. Hi.
Hi guys, how are you?
So glad to have you with us.
I am super excited to be here, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so before we get started, we have to ask, besides your web series, of course, what was the first web series you ever watched or got hooked on?
So my favorite web series right now is Growing Down by Jessica Henderson, and she did makeup for us during our shoot.
Oh, nice.
And I was so excited when I saw they're on their second season now. And it's a ton of fun.
Ooh.
Diverse, women creators. I'm all for that. So.
Yes, of course. I'm gonna definitely check that out. Okay, so now you have your series Single Rules. Can you tell us exactly what it's all about and the character Millie?
Yes. So basically, Single Rules is the story of a fiercely optimistic entrepreneur who sets out to improve her life and find, someone to share it with. Mm-hmm. And all the things that actually help her in her business and, in being a businesswoman and entrepreneur and in her personal life really fuck her. Can I say fuck?
Yeah, yes.
Really fuck her up in her dating life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can all relate to, the strong women in our life. I mean, I think the three of us can say we're strong women.
Yes, we are.
And all of the things that are great for, for our careers do not work all that great in dating.
No.
It's
hard
being
to
strong
balance.
and independent and straightforward and just no,
it's definitely hard to balance.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, because you have, that's a very masculine energy, that you have to take out, to kind of take on the world.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So then when you come to a dating scenario, it's well, now I need to bring my feminine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And let the guy take care of me, but I can take care of myself.
Right.
It's hard to
So
not
it's
be
that,
independent.
And it's a balance of having to figure out okay, how do you let them take care of you, but also let them know look, I don't need you.
Right.
I am allowing you to take care of me.
Make sure you know that.
What made you start this series?
So there's actually a funny story behind it. My co-writer and co-producer, Marissa Kennedy, we were in class together and we went to a Christmas party. And at the time we weren't super friends. Mm-hmm. And we started talking. I met her husband during this Christmas party. And I had just finished. So part of the plot in there is with London Loser.
Yeah.
And I had just kind of gotten out of this scenario with this guy. So I was on the prowl, I need to find me a man.
Right.
And I started in the party, I started chatting with different guys. And every time Marissa and her husband would come back to me and they're oh no, that guy's a douche. No, don't go talk to him. Trust us. And I was no, but he looks so nice.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, every time I went to talk to the guy that was a douche, he was a douche. And I was of course I'm single. All the guys that I'm picking, there's they are no good for me. How I have absolutely no game. It was so funny that at the end of the night, I basically told Marissa, I'm I have to write about this. This is it's hilarious. How stupid I am about dating. So then she's yeah, you know what? If you write something, show it to me. And that's what I did. I actually 10 days later or something, I wrote the pilot for this, and she read it and loved it. And she's I want to be in it. Let's do it. Let's get together.
Oh my God.
So it was it was really fun. And then I actually nagged my mentor, Andrew Stewart Jones, who I think in the web series, because he had so much to do with us getting the final product. And I nagged him. I was hey, you should read it. You should read it. He's I don't read my student stuff. No. And I sent it to him, and he read it, and he loved it too.
Good.
Because he knew it came from a very honest place, and so he started helping. And once, honestly, not that you need approval from anybody,
Right.
but once we got that nudge from him, hey, this is great. You really should invest time in this. We're Okay, let's do it. Let's keep going. Let's keep writing and
Awesome.
put it out there. Yeah.
So Millie is based on Millie is you.
Yes.
Or is it loosely based?
Wow.
It is loosely based.
Okay,
though.
loosely based.
Because a lot of, I mean, you have to think in real life, like, life is interesting, but it's not as interesting as people would want to watch it. You have to, like, condense
Right.
lots of situations together to make, like, one scene, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So Millie, in real life, is not as slutty. She actually knows how to close her legs every now and then.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Do you ever like get nervous like the guys you dated like, oh, that character was me, like?
No, not really,
Okay.
because like from the three guys that you see in the first, there's one character that's based in real life, and he knows
Okay.
that he knows it, and he actually like expects his character to be killed off
Okay.
at some point, which I haven't taken off the table yet.
Okay. Still an option.
Exactly. But I have to say, like, it is interesting, like, dating and having this as part of my life, because I'm realizing now that I'm getting a little smarter about dating, that it's not really something to share with like a new person in your life.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I'm so proud of my work and I love it, so I'm like, yes, everyone should watch it, like, hey, but people like really read into things, and I guess like they see what happens in the first episode, they're like, oh.
Taylor Swift.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
Exactly. So I'm like being so much more careful about that now.
Right.
And, like, yeah. I've been seeing a guy for like a month, and he has it, and I have the screening tonight, and he hasn't seen it.
Oh.
Like, he's not gonna see it
He's not gonna see it.
No, I did not invite him.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
Not until you're really, really like serious
Right.
about this.
Exactly.
I'm like, until you tell me you love me, then you're not gonna see. You do not earn this spot in my life.
You have to like be deserving of this.
Yes.
Like, this is such an important thing about your life, So to have other people like see that so early on, it's like
Yeah.
they might look at you a certain way afterwards. And you don't want that. So
And that's the hard part. It's like making people, or like letting people know, like, yes, it's loosely based on my life, but no, this is like not,
It's not me, right.
me. Like, you have to fictionalize your the character, because you can't. I mean, again, as much as I would like to believe I'm an amazingly fun person, I'm not amazingly fun all the time. So it's like, well, so now I have to like make myself into this,
Yeah.
this perfect being.
Okay, so let's talk about the character Millie. I feel like she should have saw the red flags with the London guy. I feel like, because first of all, she was always flying out to him, and he never came back. Was he paying for it?
No.
oh my god.
Again, loosely based.
Loosely based. But is she, do you think as far as the character or you, like, she just has her heart on her sleeve, I guess. Like, so she just, any type of attention, she's like, all right, I'm all in, like,
attention
No, because it's weird because, like, it's loosely based on you, but I don't mean it to you. I don't know.
Of course I noticed. No, I think you have something, right? Like, the heart on the sleeve, that's why we characterize her as fiercely optimistic. I think
Yeah.
like, and that's her biggest attribute and her biggest fault at the same time, because it's like something that's gonna get her far in life, but then when it comes to dating, she's like, she really believes in people and believes in the good in people.
Yeah.
So I think her attraction and what she sees.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
I'm like, right. I'm like, but he does this, but he does that. She's always like, girl, no.
So no, something that I realized recently is that a lot of the times as women, we like jump into the pool just because we like a guy. We're like, oh, he has all these attributes. He's good looking and smart and kind and da-da-da and all these things. So obviously he's a great man. But we don't actually pay attention to the things the guy does for us.
True.
Which I'm like, that is like so much sexier to find a guy that is actually willing to invest time and effort in you than that a guy that's like a perfect 10 in all other areas, but then treats you like shit.
Right.
So I think that's a little bit of Millie. She sees this guy who she really likes. He's funny and he's smart and he's like successful and all these things.
Yeah.
Right. There's all these checklists and she's like, I really want that. I think we could be great together. You know, we have this vision of like, oh yeah, we would be like a power couple. But in reality, like the guy, you know, London loser, he was just a loser. He doesn't, you know, he wasn't going to, like you guys were saying, he doesn't visit her. He doesn't. So totally all of them red flags.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was like looking past that because of like how
be
great.
Something good. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Don't take this the wrong way.
Never.
Okay, but does the character Millie know that like being single is okay?
Of course.
Okay.
Well, that's the whole point of like that's why it's called single rules.
Okay.
So this is not about like, oh, like I'm so sad about being lonely. Blah. Like the whole point is seeing that she's spent her time like getting her life together. She's starting. You don't see it in the pilot that you guys saw. But you see later on, you know, she's starting her business and she's focusing on herself and she loves her life. And she's gone to that place where it's like, okay, so now I want someone. Like, this is all fun and I love my life. Let's find someone who's just as awesome to add some more value to my life.
Gotcha.
So yes, she knows that being single is a lot of fun and we're going to see her like have fun with that too. But it's also like, sometimes it's fun to be single and not date. Because I've done that in my own life.
Yeah.
Like, I've actually had years, not months, years that I was like, when I moved to New York, I was like, I'm not dating. I want to focus on my career. You know, I was making a big change in my life. And I was like, I want to have fun in other ways, not, you know, not just like dating men. And you can certainly do that.
Exactly.
Men or women, whatever your preference. But this, so now she's like, now I'm ready to date. And I want to find a guy that's special.
Good. I like how her friends are like really supportive, like they're there for her, but I feel like they also tell her like, girl, you need to cut it out.
Yes,
like that's really important.
Definitely Dee and Sean, that's Marissa's character, the married couple. They're definitely like the cut the bullshit. Like, girl, you need to get your shit together. Like you can't, you know, there is a game to be played. You have certain rules. There are things you have to follow. So just like get on the program and, you know, and get laid.
Exactly.
They're all about sex. I love that couple. Seriously, like you will see, it's so much fun. Like they're like a very open, it's like an open marriage kind of thing. It's like it's very modern but they're so loving towards each other too.
Okay.
And this is Millie's basically role model for love. So it's kind of funny that it's like the weirdest role model you will see for love. But at the same time, what is important after all, you know, it's like the love, you know, how they take care of each other. Everything else is just like labels.
Exactly.
What would you say is the most challenging thing about dating?
Everything.
Basically, it's not easy.
I am like, the funny thing right now is I'm thinking very carefully about my answers because I'm like, so if things work out with this guy I'm seeing, then what is he gonna think? You know what? Who cares? What is I think the hardest thing is realizing, like, taking it one step at a time. I think this doesn't happen to guys as often. Like I was saying, like, we like a guy and all of a sudden we start investing our time, our effort, and we start projecting a future with that person, and we're like, oh, this could be great. Like, we could do all these things.
Yeah.
Like, we are planners, and I don't know, there's something that's very different from men. They can just enjoy the moment and let that be that.
I guess.
So that's definitely the hardest thing, like just being like, okay, right now I've known this person for so long. I like this, and leave it at that, and let's see where it goes. But I have to say, I've gotten a lot better at that, and the better I get at that, the better my dating life has become.
Okay.
And also, another thing that's really important, like in dating, like knowing what your standards are.
Very
and
important.
voicing them, it's really interesting how like
Women are afraid to do that.
we are like we want people to like us.
Yeah.
Especially a guy that we like. We want them to like us. So we do things that normally we wouldn't do or we wouldn't allow our friends to do to us. You know, it's like
Exactly.
cancel last minute or this or that. And the beauty of it, something else that I'm discovering, is like the more you establish your standards and you set them out there for the world, you know, it's like you're going to call me for a date and this and that, the better it gets.
Okay.
Like I actually, girls, you can gush. I got called to go on a date, and then for that same date, I was picked up, brought flowers.
What?
There were dinner reservations made. I was walked home.
That's like unheard of.
Yes. What?
Sadly, but it is.
That's crazy. It's
like a movie.
It's crazy that it's crazy. Like, this
Yeah.
is something that guys should do. Like, really court the woman.
That's
Come on.
exactly the point. I think that's where, you know, I'm finding out. I'm like, of course I deserve someone to invest that time on me.
Exactly.
And I'm in the person who invests that time on me, I'm going to give them my best as well. So it's a great partnership.
Right.
But yeah, we don't, as women, we do not, we've lowered our standards
Yeah.
so much and we don't want to. That's the
No.
worst part. And it's like this whole hookup culture, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's okay to sleep with people. It's like totally okay.
Yeah.
Like go and have sex with as many people as you want. But most of my friends that do that, like I find out they don't enjoy it. It's
Right.
not something that the next day they're like, oh, that girl, that sex was amazing. Boy, he knows how to use his tongue. Most of the times it ends up being like, oh, I wonder if I'm going to see him again. Is he going to
Exactly.
call
Will
me?
he call me?
Like, I really hope that we can even like have sex again. So we're not really enjoying that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We're kind of doing it because,
We want to be liked.
Yeah.
yeah.
I want that happy ending.
Yeah.
I feel like
so
guys, they're kind of like lazy lately. Like they don't like. Well, I'm not gonna put all this energy into her when this girl, she's calling my phone. I'll just sleep with
Because
her.
that's what they were taught. They were taught to like sow your oats and then settle down later on.
Right.
Girls were taught to, you know, like a guy, date him, and then get married. And it's like we rushing to do that.
We're on all
quickly.
different pages.
So
Yeah.
that's the sad part. It's like we're on two different pages.
But they're not lazy. Well, again, this is
Some
the part
guys
where I
are
bring.
lazy, though.
Some guys are lazy, but that's not the guy you want to date.
Yeah.
That's not gonna be like, I don't care if he's Brad Pitt. If he's fucking lazy, like you can get out. Like no,
Right.
I'm not interested. And I actually, so I was, I went to cheer on the marathon runners this year because I was supposed to run, but I got hurt, so I couldn't.
Oh.
And there was this model guy that I put on the tracker. I was like, yes, let's go say hi to this guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but we actually saw him go by, and like I missed him. Like he didn't hear us like yelling for him, so I like ran behind him. Of course I did.
I love it. I love it.
And you know, I yelled out his name and I was like, you're amazing, you're great. And he was like, I think he injured himself. He was walking in a low, and he just did not acknowledge it. He had like this horrible, like he just looked grumpy. And I was like, you know what? You
Forget
might be
it.
like gorgeous but no.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
No. So that's
your
where we have to
attitude.
empower each other and be like, you know what? It's not okay if your communication, it's like if you would like someone to text you every day, or that's probably a bad example, but if you like someone to bring you flowers on a date, or call you to set a date, or like spend a little extra time, you know, planning for the date, it's not okay to accept any less.
Right.
It's true.
It's not. There will be a guy that's amazing and that will call you for the date and buy you flowers. And by the way, that was not the only time he got me flowers.
Oh my God. That is so good.
Yes. I have a feeling that now that I'm talking about it, it's all
Yes.
No, send good vibes. Send good vibes.
Yes, and good vibes. Love it.
I need
Right? Where'd you find him?
where's my
Please.
guy?
Okay, we have the best story ever. So I was actually I can't tell the whole story.
Okay.
No, yes, I can.
Right.
Well, I was going back to, so I was at a bar having fun, and actually the bartender was kind of cute, and I was flirting with him a little bit, and I had to go back to work. And I was like, oh, until what time are you here? And he told me. So then I went to my apartment, worked for a little bit, and I was going out to go to this bar again. So this guy was walking right next to me, and I look, you know how it happens in New York. So I looked at him, and I'm like, well, we might as well walk together. And we had a little chuckle. My accent is coming out. We had a little chuckle about it, and he's like, oh, so where are you going? You know, how was your night? So I was like, oh, I'm going to go grab a drink, da-da-da. So he walked me to the bar, and then he's like, can I get you a drink? I was like, okay.
Sure.
So we had a couple of drinks, and then he walked me home, which actually... so the moon was a full moon that night, and I was looking at it and fell.
What? Oh my God.
I was looking at it while we were walking back and fell like an idiot.
Oh my God.
And he was so sweet and picked me up, and he's like, are you okay? So he walked me home, and then at that point he asked for my phone number, and he said he wanted to take me out on a proper date.
Oh my goodness. So cute.
So cute.
It is a good story, right?
It is. So he would just walk, and you said, let's walk together?
Yeah.
I'm going to try that.
scared?
I'm going to try that.
Trust me, he does not look scary. He's cute.
Right? If it was late, I'm like, who's this walking so close?
But okay.
That's cute. I would try that though. But knowing me, I'll mess up. Okay, bye.
No, but it happens. Even today on my way here, there was a construction guy. We were literally walking next to each other. So I just turned to him, and they're doing construction on the subway, the 2nd Avenue. And I'm like, hey, so how's construction? When are we gonna... So I know it's really good to talk. I found out because of this, and it's just great to talk to people in the city and meet new people. You just never know.
Yeah, that's so true. That's a good story. Now we're gonna talk a little bit more about back to single rules.
Yes.
So, do you have any advice for upcoming creators?
Yes. You know what? I think surround yourself with amazing people. You hear it all the time, but it is so important to have not only very talented people, but also supportive people that believe in you and the project. Because as much as we want to do everything by ourselves, you just can't. You need a good network of people, and the more people that believe in your project, the more they're willing to help, and the more confidence it gives you to continue.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if nobody's on your side, and you're oh, but I really love this project and I want to move forward, it's so much harder than when you have cheerleaders and fans, and they're I love it, keep going. What are I get asked, my mentor asks me every Sunday, he's so what did you write something? What are you doing? And I'm damn it. Yes, of course. So it just keeps me going in that sense. It's okay, there's people out there that want to know where this is going, how many more episodes are we going to see, where are they coming out? So it keeps me accountable.
Okay.
That's actually my next question.
Yes.
When do we get to see more of Millie? Do you have an official release date? What's happening?
So we don't have an official release date for the next few episodes. Okay. I have my fingers crossed that within the next year we'll be able to release the whole season.
Okay, good.
Cool.
Because right now it's exclusively in film festivals. So we want to finish that before we go on to the next step. We want to finish the film festival circuit before. So if you want to see it, you do have to come to one of the film festivals that we're in.
Speaking of them, so you screened at Brooklyn Web Fest, and right now you're screening at the Contra Film Festival. What has been the reaction of Single Rules and the viewers?
Honestly, I've loved the reaction that people have had. I've had just acting related people and non-acting related people come up to me and say I so relate with this. I can't wait to see what happens next. Yes, I totally understand what Millie's going through. And there's kind of a team that's formed, especially with women, of course.
Yeah.
A lot of them are coming up to me and just they feel inspired, and they can relate with what's happening so much.
Yeah.
So honestly, it's been just kind of an honor and such a privilege to see other people watching the work and react into it in a positive way.
Yeah, awesome.
And liking it, and because that's ultimately what we want as creators. We want people to be able to feel that their story is being told through our stories, that they feel represented. And that's kind of the other thing that's very important to Marissa and I. We wanted to make sure she's biracial, I'm Latina, and our cast is quite diverse. And we wanted to make sure it's like, we want to tell stories from our point of view and not just like, oh, okay, so I'm Latina, so I'm going to be the maid. And you're, it's like, that's unfortunately how we're always represented.
Right.
So for us, it was important to be like, hey, you know what? We are of all colors and races and things, but we still have the same experiences as everyone else. Viewed, there's a different viewpoint, but that's everybody,
Exactly.
So we wanted to make sure to bring that to the forefront, and especially as women too. Unfortunately, women do not get to tell their stories often enough.
Yeah,
so I
true.
think we really need to start creating more, putting more things out there, and so that people can see oh wow, this is relatable. It's not just for women.
Yeah, exactly.
And Single Rules is really not just for women, but it is a main demographic.
Right.
So I'm gonna say I wasn't too concerned with the male
demographic
in there. We like them boys, but for other things.
Exactly. All right. Okay. Awesome. So Millie, oh my God, so great to have you. We had so much fun. Well, can you share where people can find you, the episodes, and any upcoming projects or film festivals you'll be attending or anything?
Yes, of course. So we have, this is going to be too late, but we're at the Capture Film Series right now. You can check out www.singlerules.com for updates on the film festivals we'll be in. And then if you want to check out my YouTube, that's Millie Torchetti on YouTube. But right now, like I said, it's exclusively in film festivals. So hopefully soon enough we'll have it for other people to see.
Awesome. I can't wait. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
All right, guys, so that was our recap of our fun-filled weekend. We want to thank Lauren and April for having us at the New York City Web Fest. Thank you so much for creating this platform for creatives to showcase their work. If it wasn't for this event, we wouldn't know about these shows, and we wouldn't be able to tell you guys about them. So thanks, guys, for that.
At the New York City Web Fest, we also got the chance to meet Phil Hernandez from Black Talent TV, finally.
Yes, finally. We've been talking to him for
right? Over the internet, exactly. So we finally got to meet him. So he loves web series just as much as us, and he writes about them. And they're really good, wonderfully written. So guys, make sure you check him out at Black Talent TV. We hope to have him on the show real soon, so look out for that.
Also, we want to thank Millie Torchetti for speaking to us about her show and dropping some dating gems. Thanks to Uhuru Now for inviting us to their meetup, and Pieces for inviting us to their private screening. We had so much fun at both events, and we're excited to see what's in store for both shows.
Yes. Next week, we are covering Makeup and Breakup episode 5, so please make sure you guys catch up on YouTube. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the Indie Creative Network. The network has awesome podcasts and music to listen to. Also, please subscribe to Seriously Podcast on iTunes and like or comment on SoundCloud. Show your girls some love. You can follow us at Seriously Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat for some behind-the-scenes fun. Until next time,
Bye!
Later.
Yeah, we did good. Next one. Let's see how long
alcohol in our system.
Let's see how long this lasts.
Thanks, Wise. Courtesy of Wise. Shout out to Wise.
Wise shout out.
That's not how you say it. That's not how you say it. What was the next category?
Okay, so why'd y'all give me this drink? Okay.
That was him. He did that. He could just fill me up. Wow, he took it away, and I said, fill me up again. Wow, he said, no, you don't get nothing.
You're done for the day.
He said,
You're
no,
done.
I'm helping you out, girl. No. Trust me, you don't deserve anything.
You can get the live stream and there's no more